No first-round upset for Duke this year. The Blue Devils advanced, taking care of business against UNC Wilmington, 93-85. Kerry Chow alongside Eamonn Brennan. Duke led by Marshall Plumlee and Grayson Allen. Both had 23 points, but this game was pretty close.
It was. Wilmington, I think, executed what they wanted to do on the offensive end for most of the game. They made 11 of 26 from three, which for them is a pretty good number. It's not a great three-point shooting team this season, but, I think coming into the game, if you would have said that Wilmington would have shot 42% from three against Duke, given how much Duke has struggled on the defensive glass, given how much they've struggled on the interior defensively, I think you would have said, well, this is going to be a risky game for Duke. This is going to be a scary one. And at times it was. Wilmington never really went away. But I think you do have to give Duke a lot of credit for, in the second half, down the stretch, being able to break Wilmington's press consistently, getting out of traps on the ball handler immediately after the inbounds, and getting the ball up the floor. And then you talked about Marshall Plumlee. He was 9 of 10 from the field, and I think probably half of those buckets came just as a result of Duke breaking the press, getting into a 2-on-1, and just throwing a lob up to Plumlee and putting the game away in pretty simple fashion. So a really impressive performance by the Blue Devils offensively. Still some things maybe they can work on the defensive end, but we'll see how that goes.
You mentioned the questions that Duke faces on the interior. In this game, they outscored UNC Wilmington in the paint 48-28. Does that make you feel better about them moving forward?
I think it's a good start. It's a good number. They have a huge talent and size advantage still, even in a diminished form without Emil Jefferson, I think, over a team like Wilmington. But whether that will be the case as they move forward will be interesting to see. But for now, I think the most promising thing about it is not so much that Plumlee was good, although he was good, and obviously he finished those alley-oops with aplomb. But I think the good news is Brandon Ingram had 2 blocks and was very active on the defensive glass and on the glass in general. And getting that into his game as a part of his game, instead of just having him be sort of a stretch tweener 3 kind of guy, immensely talented regardless, but adding his ability to not only see over the defense and hit threes and all that stuff with a little defensive interior punch, I think is big for the Blue Devils moving forward.
Duke moves on in the West region. Eamonn Brennan, analysis with aplomb. I'm Kerry Chow. We'll see you next time.